Well, a lot of parents, me included, are eagerly waiting for their kids to go back to school. But when will classes resume and what's school going to look like? Joining me now is DISD Superintendent Dr. Michael Hinojosa. Dr. Hinojosa, thank you for joining us. Full disclosure here, I have two kids at DISD, so I'm fully invested in you succeeding in this. What, first off, is the biggest challenge to getting the kids back in school in the fall term?
Well, I think we need to know what the rules of engagement are. Are we going to have social distancing? Right now, for summer school, you can have no more than 11 kids in a classroom. If those rules are still in place in August, it'll be a huge challenge. And so we'll have to have multiple schedules, arrivals, processes. If those rules change, we'll have more flexibility. And we also know, like you as a parent, you need some child care support. And there's a law in Texas that if you're under 12 years old, it's child abandonment if you leave the student at home alone. So there are a lot of different moving parts. We don't know what we don't know yet, but we'll find out a lot more every week that passes.
Say it gets bumped up to maybe where you could have 16, 17 kids in a class. What does it look like? Is the teacher at the front of the class teaching the kids who are in the room while the kids are at home or watching like a live feed of that?
That's probably not as likely, because how do we select which kids stay home? Although we are going to survey the parents, and we're in the process of doing that right now, and some parents aren't going to feel comfortable sending a student. But we also determined we can only get 17 students inside of a classroom. So we may have to have two teachers, one that takes half of the kids in one part of the building and the others in the other half. We may have to use middle schools as elementary schools and have the secondary students learn from home. At least they don't require supervision as much as elementary students do. So we're working multiple plans depending on what those rules tell us very precisely, as you just asked.
So it sounds like your goal then is to take a different tack. Take the high schools and the middle schools are one thing, but for the elementary school kids, it sounds like your goal is to have them in a classroom come August.
That is the emerging plan. We still need to make sure we can execute upon it. And once again, it depends on what the rules of engagement are. But yes, that's our leaning at this point. And we'll have to make a decision sometime in June, because you need to know as a parent how you're going to work with us in getting your children to school and where are they going to be learning from. So that's kind of the leaning one right now, but I wouldn't say that's final. I wouldn't take that to the bank yet.
Okay. In terms of the teachers, how do you make accommodations for teachers who may be immunocompromised, maybe elderly? Will you consider some early retirement incentives for teachers who may not be able to come back into a classroom?
That's probably premature at this point. We're very surprised at the low number of vacancies, resignations that we've had. A lot of people are still hanging on. We are doing a survey with teachers too, and we need to know what their health concerns are. And if they don't want to come back in a face-to-face environment, we understand that, we appreciate that, and we'll support that however we can. But we have the responsibility to educate all the students anyway. So we'll take all those things into consideration. Right now, we have over 40 employees who have had 40 individuals, some employees, some students that have had the virus. So there are a lot of things to consider, and by August, how many of them will be over it? And so we're collecting all that data to know how we can execute the school opening in August.
And one last question. If elementary school parents don't feel comfortable sending their kids back to school, will there be accommodations made that they could still learn at home?
The short answer is yes, and we've gotten permission from the state agency that we'll still get funding, and some parents are very comfortable doing online learning at home. We need to know that from them, and we'll accommodate them. So the short answer is yes. Anyone who wants to stay home, we will still have that option available in August.
Okay. All right. Dr. Michael Hinojosa, I realize it's May and we're talking about August, so I expect we'll have more of these conversations as we get closer to the date. Thank you very much for your time.
Much more to come. Thank you.